Hello and welcome. I'm just checking something. Just give me a second. Just making sure that we're actually live. This is Stephen in wonderful Wiltshire, England, and today we are talking about sonic branding, and I'm just waiting for the sound. Right, we have done our pre-broadcast checks, so it's back to me. And hello and welcome. Everything's working. Okay, glasses off. I don't need them all the time, just for reading. Okay, you're watching Stephen live from wonderful Wiltshire, England. I am live on OneStream Live, and it's Wednesday. It's 10 o'clock in the UK. It's 3 p.m. in the UK. I'm so excited by today's show. I'm going to connect the chat. So if you are watching on YouTube Live, thank you very much. And hello from Wiltshire. Now, let's bring that card back. And sonic branding. I was basically, I'm very fortunate in the team at OneStream Live give me a topic every week to talk about. And now, majority of the time I know what the topic is. But this time, when I was told that the topic this week was sonic branding, I was, what is it? What is it? What is sonic branding? And I suppose that's the best place to start. Sonic branding is the use of audio in live broadcasting. And there are many ways in which we can use audio. And remember, audio is important. What you want to do with a live broadcast is to actually mix things up. So I'm going to go over here to media. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to play you this. Because my friend Fons Chamberlain is the CEO of a community radio called Royston Radio, which is based in Royston in Hertfordshire. And I spoke to Fons earlier this week and I said, look, I'm doing this show about sonic branding. I know that you're involved in sonic branding because you brand the radio station. So let's take a look.
Online, on app, on smart speaker. The future of radio today. Royston Radio. Community is our middle name.
Now, normally that broadcasts as audio, but Pons sent me the image as well, and I was able to put the two together. And audio is important because the only thing you can do on a radio station is send out audio. Whereas on a live video situation, we have the ability to actually have images as well. So we put the image with that's an actual jingle from Royston Radio. And let's just play it again for anybody watching.
Online, on app, on smart speaker. The future of radio today. Royston Radio. Community is our middle name.
Now, we can put together similar for live video. In fact, I've come across, since I started exploring this, I've come across, if I go here and just bring this into the stream, replace, this is what we're going to be looking at today. And I'm going to go full screen so you can see it. There we are. So this is the introduction that we're doing now. That was number 2. That's a jingle. And jingles are made either in-house or through Fiverr or through jingle making sites. Now, I found several sites that actually do that. Then we're already doing, to a certain extent, audio in live broadcasting because we use intros and outros. And I'll play an example of those in a moment. Theme tune. If you've got a live broadcast, why not have a theme tune? Now, you could go to Fiverr and get one written for you. Now, I've seen quite a lot of broadcasts where there is background music. So you've got somebody talking and then you've got subtle background music. Music doesn't have to be subtle, and it doesn't have to be, well, it doesn't have to be copyright. I'm going to come back and speak about it in a moment, but you can make music with a website called Udio. It's one of the 2 leading websites for creating music from scratch. And it's just worked so beautifully. I'll show you in a moment. When I go here, I'm just going to go into my kit bag and go into websites, and I'm going to bring Udio up on screen. And I'll do that in a moment. Sound effects. Now we've got sound effects in the studio. I'll be talking about those, and hopefully you can hear these now. Hopefully you can hear these now. Okay, let's try again. Okay, so you can use sound effects as well. And of course, the most important sonic in any live broadcast is you. And I'm going to come back on screen, and I'm going to close something down. Just a minute. I'm just going to close that. Okay, one of those internet days. Hopefully this broadcast will go through. Now, two things about audio. One, for today and for you to hear me, and hopefully you can hear me. I think I've got a chat message coming in, and chat message is here. So I can say that Alec is in the house. Alec is in the house, 3, 2, 1. Hello, Alec, good to see you. Thank you for joining. And oh, wow. The Hertfordshire gang are definitely here. So hi from John. John, hello. And oh, we are busy today. And the next one coming in, also from Hertfordshire. Just give me a second. Hello. Nice to see you, Sarah. And an official hello from Royston Radio itself, I think. So let's just wait for this to come through. And it should in a second. You can possibly see it on screen now, but I'm going to go show here, and we should get a different hello. Okay, now just like community radio is about reaching out to people, so live video is about reaching out to people. I'm grateful for warm welcome from the official Royston Radio, and also from, it'll be up on screen in a minute. Hello, nice to see you. Okay, so I think we've caught up on the hellos. Yes, we have. So I'm going to go back over to media. Now, I'm going to show you how I made this video during this broadcast. But it is a situation that we're spoilt. I've heard a message coming. You possibly heard it too. That means a new message is in. So I'm not going to get away from the chat here. Just a minute. And a question from Alec. So let's take Alec's question and then we'll move forward. How many creators do you know who have used a jingle? I use one on my show, but otherwise I only know one other. That's basically what I'm doing. We're breaking new ground here. Alec, suggesting is that people do start to use jingles. And okay, back to Alec again. And Alec is saying jingles, however, used with Oodcat's audio. Okay, and thank you for that. And hello to. We are busy today. You're watching Stephen live from Wiltshire, England on the OneStream live YouTube channel, and we say hello to. Just a minute. Didn't mean to do that. Just give me a second. It should be on screen again. Second, and then I can read it. And all is good. All these chat messages coming through. Tala, Shafiq, hi there, and thank you for watching live, and thank you everybody. So I'm going to go back, because the thing is that we can actually play videos in the OneStream studio, and we can create those videos. And on a system I'm going to show you in a moment called Screenfile. But just because everybody is here from Hertfordshire, let's give an explanation this time. I'll play this one. So I'm going to play.
You're listening to Royston Radio, the station where community is our middle name.
At least I'm going to try and play a short video. I hope you can still hear me. There's a video about to start. It's being stubborn. I think we're going to get there in a second. It's worth waiting for anyway, as most things are. I had an update.
You're listening to Royston Radio, the station where community is our middle name.
Right, okay. Now, whilst I should freeze that, just a minute. I will post a link to Royston Radio everywhere after this broadcast, but I'm grateful to Fons, who runs Royston Radio, and the team at Royston Radio. I've got to tell you, I'm always saying, Alexa, play Royston Radio, especially on a Sunday morning at 10 o'clock when Fons is on the turntable with the vinyl records. If you're interested in pop music, all sorts of music really, then Royston Radio is the place to go and listen. It's free. There's an app, as you could see from the graphic just there. In fact, I'll play it again, and then if you take a screenshot of this, you'll have
online, on app, on smart speaker. The future of radio today. Royston Radio. Community is our middle name.
So to Alexa, all you need to do is say, play Royston Radio and enable the application, and then that's it. And then you can listen to Royston Radio whenever you want. As I say, we listen definitely on Sundays at 10 o'clock whilst having breakfast, which is normally scrambled egg with salmon. So a good accompaniment there. And I've got to say, I've not said this to Fons before, but I could actually choose. Fons chooses the playlist, and it's all in my collection somewhere. So that's why we're listening. So let's remind ourselves what we're doing here and go back onto the agenda. So that is a jingle. Now, there is a lot of jingle software available. And I found one the other day, which I'll post a link to afterwards. I write a blog to actually accompany this with all the links in it. And there are jingle makers out there. Now, as well as jingles, because you can play a jingle anytime. And just let me put my glasses on. I'm just going to go over here. And how about this one? Welcome to Sonic Branding 101 on OneStream Live with Stephen Healy. Now you know why I asked Fons for his jingle. That one was homemade. And it's so easy to do. Welcome to Sonic Branding 101 on OneStream Live with Stephen Healy. So that was me today's show card, my voiceover, and then some music that I chose from ScreenPal. And because they know the music's got to be in the background, the volume levels are already set. You don't need to do anything. And then you can bring it into your OneStream Live Studio and play it whenever you want. And we may see that several times. Right, now the next item on the agenda, I'm going to go through the agenda and then come back. If you've got any questions, please ask in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer the questions. Basically, intros and outros. And because what we're talking about is basically, what's the reason for doing all this? Why pay such attention to sound? There are sounds that we hear. As soon as sometimes when we hear a sound, we know exactly what it is. Yeah, that's what you're trying to do with the live video. When people hear your intro or your jingle, they know who it is and they pay more attention. And the thing is, the more you repeat it, the more people hear it, the more likely they are to pay attention. And in live video, we've tended to, up until now, have ignored sound Alec hasn't, but most of us have. And it wasn't until sonic branding was mentioned to me today that I took a closer look. Right, intros and outros. Obviously, a mixture of video and sound, and can be used to start your show. Too excited, I pressed the button twice. It did launch successfully, and that's an intro that's made using InVideo. And I made it about 4 years ago. I made a series of countdown clocks so at the start of the broadcast, and they were in use for years, and then they sort of went out of vogue, and I'm bringing them back again. And basically what you've got is a video which you can get from ScreenPal, or you can get from InVideo.io, and then you'd add to that the music. And in this case, because the countdown clock was there, we go to the countdown clock. And I'm going to play this out of sequence, but if we go here, and I'm just scrolling down to where I want to be, just give me a second, and let's go to, not there, intros and outros, take 2 camera images, rocket. There we have it. Okay, now if you can do an intro video, you can also do an outro video. Now this is not the end of the show, don't run away. I'll be back in about 20 seconds. Right, we're getting closer to things working exactly as they should do. So that was an outro video, again, done on InVideo.io. And basically, you've got the background video, you've got the music, which is supplied by InVideo.io. Now, I made those 4 years ago. And the problem with that is I wasn't sure that music was still able to be used. Because when you create a video through a system like InVideo.ai, the music is licensed for public performance. And after 4 years, you think, is it still? So I took my original video from 4 years ago. I took the music off from 4 years ago and added new music from ScreenPal. You'll be hear me mentioning ScreenPal quite a bit. I will show you in a moment or 3. So intros and outros are a way of getting sound. Now, you could be consistent and use the same tune each time. What you're after is people, well, first of all, we're here to educate, entertain, and inform. That's why we're here. And sound helps us do that. Music helps us to do that. 2 things, though, you should be just as a sort of advisory. 1, in order for this to work, I've had to turn off noise cancellation on my microphone. Normally, I've got noise cancellation on, which means none of the sounds can be heard. Yeah, which is fair. I mean, especially when we had the builders working next door. If that had been on the video, that would have been, well, I could hear it, but nobody watching me live could hear it. And I was able to broadcast for 2 weeks whilst there were workmen next door, and nobody listening to me heard a thing. But I can't have noise cancellation on, because you wouldn't hear the sounds you're going to hear. So I've taken noise cancellation off, which means that I can do this. Alexa, Play BBC News. Alexa, stop. Now you heard the introductory music there on BBC News. Now I can't play you the whole lot. For the second reason that you've got to be wary of is copyright. Okay, and you should not be using copyright content, copyright videos. It's often better to create your own or get them created using Fiverr or use a system. Yeah. Don't use copyrighted things, because what happens is the first time you use a copyrighted section in your video, they'll turn the sound off, and that's both on Facebook and on YouTube. They'll tell you they're doing it. Second time you get another warning, and then, well, you don't want to go down that route because our accounts are important, and breaking copyright rules is one of the ways to lose your account. So when doing all this audio stuff, be aware of copyright. Also be aware that your microphone, you don't want to have noise cancellation on, because you wouldn't have heard Alexa then. Just a minute. Alexa, set volume 7. Now, you can use Alexa as an assistant in your broadcasting. So if I said to Alexa, Alexa, what time is it?
Good afternoon, Stephen. It's 3:22 p.m.
Right. And this is to show the show is live. It's 3:22 p.m. in the UK. I'm just going to go over to the chat and catch up with the chat, and scrolling down, and I think we'll go up to here. So over to Alec again. Podcasts, indeed, podcasts. And Alec has given us a link, which is showing now currently on YouTube. And that link is the source for jingles and in the UK. That's one of the places you can actually create jingles. So thank you for that, Alec. Musicradiocreative.com. Okay, now, everything that I'm showing you, obviously the Royston, let's go back to Royston Radio again. Okay, let's go back to the media and play my favorite Royston Radio.
Online, on app, on smart speaker. The future of radio today. Royston Radio. Community is our middle name.
And I've just got to press OK there. And welcome to Sonic Branding 101 on OneStream Live with Stephen Healy. Now you can see a difference in quality between the two. One is made by me and one was made for Royston Radio specifically. So if you want quality, if you're skilled at all this, then fine, just go with it. But if you can basically keep people entertained, educated, and informed, and use audio to do it. So let's go back to our agenda again. And we're working our way through it. So jingles, we've covered the Royston Radio and my jingle, intros and outros. Now, the next one, I think is we're breaking new ground here, because I don't think we've actually seriously considered any of this in live broadcasting. Using a theme tune, let's just go here, and I'm just going to swap this around. Using a theme tune is something that came to me when I was putting all this together. Basically, if you could have a song which, well, a piece of music which was played consistently through your broadcast, then basically people would identify with it. I mean, music brings joy to people. It really does, depending on the track. I know when I go out 11:30 in the morning now, I put my headset on, I take my mobile phone, and I go out walking, running, jogging, jeffing for an hour and a half, and I'm listening to music. We love listening to music. I love listening to rock music. I can listen to the same track not necessarily over and over, but several times during the week. And that's the sort of aim here, is to get people to know, to recognize your theme music. And the thing is, let's go back to where we were earlier. I obviously created the video with the Royston image and then the jingle that Fons had created. But now, you see, on radio, you can only use audio. But that can now be used, just as a hint to Fons, if you're still watching, that can now be used to promote the station. Yeah, that simple video is copyright free and can be used to promote the station on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, wherever you want. When you make a video for use in a broadcast, you're making a video that can be used anywhere. Yeah. Now, obviously, an intro and outro are specific to a live broadcast, but everything else that we're talking about, you can use anytime, anywhere to promote. And so you're creating content, and that's a great way to do it because you're telling the story. Yeah. Royston Radio now plays amazing music, and it's based in Hertfordshire. And Fons and team are responsible for it. Okay, so where we're going to go now, because we've talked about getting your own theme tune. If you're going to get your own theme tune created, then I would go over to Fiverr, and you can get your own theme tune created. The other thing you can do is throughout your broadcast is to have background music. Now, my good friend David Burrows is in Sarnia in Ontario, and he broadcasts like I do on Amazon Live. The difference between him and me is that when David broadcasts, he has background music on throughout the whole broadcast at a low level. And it just makes people to stop and look for a second time. And when you're trying to gain attention, it's part of the hook that draws people in. And people watch David's show and get caught up in listening to the music. Yeah, and they're listening to music and watching. And that's a good result. So background music in live video has a place, a proven place, because I know it works for David. I know it works for many other people too. The thing is to get the volume right and to get the music right. What you wouldn't do, I would love to play you a Led Zeppelin track right now, but I can't for copyright reasons. And two, it's too loud and it goes against what I'm doing in this broadcast. So background music is an option in live video. And again, you just bring it into your OneStream studio and you're there. Right, okay, now I'm just looking, I made a lot of things for the show today. I'm just making sure that I don't miss any of them. So just give me a second. And whilst I'm doing that, we'll go through, we've talked about the introduction, we've talked about jingles, we've talked about intros and outros for video. We have talked about background music, and we're going to go on to AI music in a moment, and then sound effects, voices, and summary. But before we do that, I just want to bring you this, because you're broadcasting and you want to take a few seconds break. Just do this. Now, I only did a 3-second piece there. You could make it a lot longer. You can make it as long as you want, but you can make musical interludes for your live broadcasts. And it's so simple and so straightforward to do. Just let me load a piece of software and I'll show you how I'm doing all this. I just need to shrink a few things and close a few things. Okay, I just want to load an app and then come back. Okay, so I was loading an app in the background. So you can make intermissions, which you can play during your live broadcast, still entertaining and keeping people involved Yeah, and that's basically what we're doing. We want, with the visuals, we can certainly keep people, but don't forget audio. Audio is important. Audio, well, we all love music. So with that, I'm just waiting for the app to load in the background. And I'm going to come up with this one. I didn't get any sound on that. I think one of the things you've got to do when you're doing all this is to test. Yeah, make sure that they actually play. I mean, that was good, but I don't have any music on it. Okay, I'm just waiting for it to come up on screen. It didn't come up on screen that time. I'm going to think just a minute. All right, okay. Now, I think I've got all the clips in. Okay, let's go back to the agenda. Got so many bells and whistles today. Trying to keep all work. Okay, so next we're going to go on to AI music with Udio. Now, we've said you can get music written for you, but you can also write your own music. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a system now, which is called Udio, which is studio with the editing off. And I'm grateful DJ Strick mentioned this earlier this week, and we're going to go with it. It is Udio, and I'm going to share my screen and bring Udio on screen. So let's go for screen share. And this is creating music using AI. So you don't have to be a composer. You can actually get Udio to create it. So I'm going to share and screen. Just give me a second. And which screen shall I share? Just a minute. Oh, I've got. Right, I'm not sure whether I'm frozen or not. No, I'm not frozen. I'm just going to share that tab. Okay, I think because of the update earlier, I'm actually running out of resources. So let's see how this looks on video. If it looks like I'm having problems and not watching live, please do comment and let me know what this is looking like. I'm just going to go down to here and to here, where a browser freeze. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'll show you. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, I'm going to come in a second. The screen will come back. I'm going to close that tab and I should be back on. If you can still hear me, thank you for watching live. Basically, as a set date and that program, I'm going to X that program and hopefully that will help me. Oh, right, we're coming back now. If you're broadcasting live, just a second. Just checking. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2, and it does say that I've got sound back. So just a minute. Just checking. Right, thank you, Sarah. I think we're back in business. I think we've got sound back. So thank you for that. Sarah was saying the sound has gone, but now hopefully it is back. Okay, I'm glad you were watching. Such is live broadcasting. It's good, and thank you for that. Much appreciated. Broadcasting is a team effort, has to be said. So the voice is breaking up. Well, right, okay. I'm gonna wrap shortly, Alec. I can't really do anything about it whilst I'm live. I know I've got sound coming through. I could just a minute. How's that? How is my sound now? Okay, just a second. We've fixed this as we go along. I could just a minute. It's not breaking up for me, by the way. How's that? How is my sound now? Okay. Right, my sound now is different because I'm using a different microphone. Always have a plan B. And I was able to, sorry for the cough, I was able to switch my microphone there, and it's crystal clear now. Thank you. So hopefully both Sarah and Alec agree, but thank you for watching. I do appreciate the help. Okay, so back to the agenda. AI music with Udio. I will put together a video about Udio and basically tell you what it can do. Because one of the tracks you heard earlier was from Udio. Okay, now in my studio, the other thing that you can have is effects. And in my studio, I have got effects. And if I click that button, yeah, I've got that effect, which has got a sound with it. And hopefully you can hear these. And that, of course, is for Alec and for Sarah. And then, okay, this one I like. Well, I like all of them. Which one I like most. Now, sound. When we hear certain sounds, we can react to them. If you recognise the sound, if you can get a sound associated with your broadcast, then basically you're starting to make, you're starting to have an effect. And sound effects. Try that one again. Okay, so these are from in my OneStream live studio, and I can play these at the appropriate moment. They are pretty unique. So let's go try this one. Okay, that wasn't me. It's not me speaking. It's not my voice. And we'll go with this one again. Okay, so these are the sound effects that are actually built into your OneStream live studio, which you can use to actually just break things up. Okay, and remember we said earlier, using, thank you, Sarah. And Sarah is loving the effect. It is an 80s gaming vibe, you're quite right. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I knew it reminded me of something. But those are in your OneStream live studio. You can use them at any time during the broadcast, and they will give you an 80s gaming vibe. The other thing, of course, is you can bring in your own effects as well, but these are pretty good. They're only released 2 weeks ago. They can be used to emphasize something, or to make a point, or to say thank you. And I think another round of applause to everybody who's actually watching live now. I think. Okay, now you can change the settings for those. So those are in the studio. So we do have the ability to have sound effects. You can play sound effects throughout your broadcast. What we're talking about, and we've been talking, is making memorable live stream sounds. And sonic branding is something which is big business. I mean, when we hear an advertisement on television, we don't need to be watching the television. As soon as we hear that sound, we know the product. As soon as we hear the sound, we know what the product is. And that's what we can do with audio on live video. So my message here today is don't forget. And like you're saying, okay, sound. Yeah, I mean, this is my second microphone. I prefer the first one, but when something goes wrong with your microphone within my OneStream live studio, and because I was able to switch over, I am using, but I don't have noise cancellation on. That's how I was able to switch microphones so easily. So let's go. Just a minute. Go here. Okay, I think what is I'm trying to let's go. I've played that many videos. I'm using results. Okay, so I'm going to come back on screen if the buttons work. Right, okay. So the buttons are working. I may move again in a moment. So the whole point of this is sound can actually enhance your live broadcasts. Remember, don't be copyrighted. No use copyright. Create your own if you can. I'm going to basically do a short video about the way I created the ones that you've seen today. And let's just have a recap of what we looked at today. So let me go over here. I'm going to media. And I think I'm waiting for media to come up. Whilst I'm waiting, I want to say a big thank you for actually watching live. You've been watching Stephen live from Wiltshire, England. And in no particular order, you have been watching. Welcome to Sonic Branding 101 on OneStream Live with Stephen Healy. Right, I'm getting no sound in the studio. I don't know whether you're getting sound out there. Let's go to the chat and see what's happening. Okay, so we've explored many different ways of using audio in, let's show here. And question from Sarah, can you have another person on the second screen? We can have 10 people in the OneStream studio. Yeah, so this is not solo broadcasting. You can have up to 10 people on screen at the same time. Okay, and that's it. And that's, I'm going to hide that. Sarah, thank you. Right, this has been Stephen live from Wiltshire, England. It's been my pleasure to talk about audio today. We had one or two hiccups, but I think we got through it. I'm just going to go to the media again. One try to actually play this, and let's go here.
Online, on app, on smart speaker. The future of radio today. Royston Radio. Community is our middle name.
We're in the OneStream Live studio, my OneStream Live studio, and there's some new functions I'd like. Which brings us to the last piece of audio, which is us, our voices. Now, in terms of voice is important, that's why you need an external microphone. That's why you need two microphones so you can switch between them. Audio is an important part, and your voice is the most important audio of the lot, which is why you should actually practice and practice and practice, and make sure you've got a decent microphone. What you can do is you can actually use external. Well, you could use somebody else's voice. Let's just have a look.
This is Murph.ai. I've written an introductory paragraph for today's broadcast and I've transferred it to Murph, and this is what happens.
Opening music. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an exciting episode of The Future of Broadcasting, where we delve into the innovations shaping the media landscape. I'm your host. Today we have an incredibly captivating topic that's transforming.
It doesn't have to be your own voice all the time. Murph.ai allows you to upload text and it can be read in whatever voice you want. Yeah, so you can, it's mixing it up. Okay, so if I did the introduction, I could have used a different voice to do it. There are so many possibilities with audio, so many, and it adds and enriches our live broadcasts. So do experiment. If you've got any questions, get in touch. Over to the chat bit before I go on and say thank you for all the comments today. Hopefully I haven't missed any. If I have, I will catch them and show. And thank you for the Royston Radio promotion. I'm part of the team. Sarah, excellent. You're more than welcome. Okay, now this will be played. It's on YouTube now, but it's actually played on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, everywhere later today. Okay, Sarah, thank you for joining me. Thank you for the comments. And thank you to Alec and to everyone who commented. This has been Stephen live from Wiltshire, England. I want to say a big thank you for watching me live. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to play out now with the dolphins. Okay, another way to use sound in a live broadcast. And we're going to end the stream.